welcome to Microfiche Microphone. I'm Micah, and on this channel we look at microfiche from the past, old newspaper articles in the public domain, and we look at them with our modern eyes, our modern perspective, and see what we can learn from them. On this microfiche time capsule, we are looking at the Ladies' Home Journal from September 1901, and this article is entitled Cats That Draw Salaries. I thought that was an interesting one. Do you know of any cats that earn money? I think there's a famous one where he looks grumpy, but I believe he died a couple of years ago. And the only reason that he looked grumpy in all of his pictures was actually because of an underbite. But I was wondering if there are any other real live cats that actually have salaries. So let me know if you know of any in the comments below. But let's see who actually made money back in 1901. So let's take a look. Several years ago, a letter containing a large sum of money disappeared from the New York post office. A most diligent search failed to discover the slightest trace of it, and the case was given up as a hopeless mystery. Then, about a month after the disappearance of the letter, a desk in the corner of one of the rooms was moved, and there on the floor was found a nest of young rats, resting contentedly on a bed of macerated greenbacks. All that was left of the contents of the missing letter. Jeez, that's disgusting. Rats and mice had given trouble enough before in their nibbling propensity to get at the inside of mailbags and packages, but this latest exhibition of their mischievousness decided the post office officials to take some radical means to rid the place of such dangerous pets. Traps and poison had been tried again and again, but with only partial success. So Uncle Sam at last decided to employ a cat to protect the New York post office from the depredations of rats and mice. The first appointee in the United States Rat and Mouse Catching Service was a large gray tabby. She secured the place through the recommendation of her owner, who certified that she was not only a good mouser, but was also a friend of the administration, qualities which she had once exemplified by her work and her loyalty to the office. With New York as an example, other post offices asked for the appointment of cats, and today Uncle Sam's Rat and Mouse Catching Service extends from one end of the country to the other. That's funny. I didn't know that. Nearly every large post office in the United States has its official mouser or rat killer who receives a yearly salary. In some of the bigger offices, the work is more than one cat can manage alone, and the cat force consists of several employees. The New York post office having no less than 5 or 6 regularly employed. Is that true? Back in those days? That's really funny. The salaries of Uncle Sam's cats range from $9 to $12 a year for each feline. This income is expended under the supervision of the postmasters for the purchase of food. Milk is the chief item, for the cats are supposed to provide themselves with meat, though it sometimes happens that they tire of rat and mice diet and relish a bit of raw beef or liver as a change. These government cats do not depend for their positions upon pedigree or political influence. Merit is the only qualification they are asked to possess. The majority of them are plain, common, all-around cats, accustomed to looking out for themselves, and unacquainted with the luxuries of home. They are all diligent, conscientious workers, and render Uncle Sam excellent service. Some time ago, the cat of the St. Paul Post Office made a record by slaying 125 rats and mice in 1 month. In recognition of her abilities, the postmaster wrote to Washington asking an increase in her salary, and she now receives $10.40 a year. Soon after, she showed her gratitude by presenting the government with 5 kittens, each of which entered the United States service as soon as it was old enough to tackle a rat. Each of the big department buildings in Washington has its corps of mousers. There, however, they are more of a convenience than an actual necessity, and Uncle Sam does not deem it worthwhile to give them more than their lodging in payment for their services, as the supply of mice is bountiful, and the night watchmen are generous with scraps from their lunch baskets. These department cats are really as well provided for as the cats in the regular service and on the government payroll. That's not what I was expecting. I thought it was gonna be the most beloved cats, the most loved pets, stuff like that are taken the best care of. No, these cats actually have jobs. They are to be the post office mousers or department building mousers. That's really funny. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have a cat that's a decent mouser, adopt it and take care of it and make sure that your building is rid of mice. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that by itself, but it's still very funny. The concept itself is funny. Just like let's allow all of these animals to run around here so that it gets rid of the mice. I just think that's really funny. So, anyway, thought I'd share that with you. Do you know of any kind of a role like this? The only thing I can think of is like a guide dog for the blind. Like there are service dogs and stuff like that. Are there service cats? I'm just wondering. I know also that disabled, certain physical disabilities and mental disabilities can be treated with things like horses, yeah? And so they'll sometimes have people do like therapy horse riding. So I was thinking of something like that. I was not expecting them to be prized for their mousing abilities, but I guess it makes sense, I get it. I just think it's amusing. I hope you did too. I hope you enjoyed this Microfiche time capsule. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.